before side scrollers, actually, now that I think about it, not long before side scrollers, because side scrollers was literally the first thing I did on the internet back in 2006. But actually, I guess because of side scrollers, the podcast back February 14, 2006, ended up launching a little website called ScrewAttack. And ScrewAttack was a very big player in the late 2000s, early 2010s in the video game culture space. Made a lot of videos about videos, you know, and I'll tell you what's been really interesting is the one consistent thing that I hear about is you're the guy from ScrewAttack, and it's become you're the guy from side scrollers, which is very, very cool. But even those who watch side scrollers say, hey, I'd love to hear and see you react to classic ScrewAttack stuff. And I did this a couple times on YouTube, but we thought we'd make this a regular feature over here on Side Scrollers Plus because, well, you guys have asked for it. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to watch a video today. I appreciate y'all's support. Thank you so much. This is I'm going to be doing various videos, some top 10s, some various things like clip of the weeks, which were very popular back in the day. And of course, some stuff from some IRL stuff, which the IRL stuff at the time was pretty hard to do. You had to get up and get your camera on. Anyways, more later. Today, in particular, just to kind of get caught up, I thought we would take a look at the top 10 ScrewAttack moments. I believe this is from 2007. Now, I'm going into this totally blind. I don't remember this video, but I thought it'd be a good recap to just kind of talk about what ScrewAttack was, as it was more or less like the YouTube version of video games before YouTube gaming existed. This is where you found all the big players, literally, and the big content creators before content creators were a thing on YouTube. A lot of people got their start, obviously, most notably, the angry Nintendo nerd, later became the angry video game nerd, James Rolfe. Game Theory got their start. ProJared started on ScrewAttack actually as an employee. Peanut Butter Gamer, JonTron. Go down the list of the number of people. It's a who's who of big content creators. And like I'm 1 or 2 degrees separation away from them. ScrewAttack was a big part of it. So with that said, let's get into this. I have not watched this. I thought this would be fun to kind of see what it was like back then, because I legitimately do not remember. Let's see how this goes. Now, okay, this was during the GameTrailers days, which this was, by the way, that entire intro, look at that website. That entire intro cost over $15,000 to do in the year 2007 when we first had that intro made. And it was like a big to-do. Now it's done in AI in about 10 seconds. Actually, it'd be funny to recreate that. I bet I could probably recreate that with AI in a fast way. Anyways, look at that website. Wow, that's 2007 ScrewAttack right there. That was made by a dude named Wes. Our first website was absolute dog crap. But that website right there, man, woo, boy, woo, look at those. There's ads on there and big old banner. That was GameTrailers. That's what that's, okay, sorry. Now I'm getting a little confused here because I was like, our website never looked that good.
Would you believe it's been a year since we started hanging out with our buddies over here at GameTrailers? Man, time sure does fly.
Yep. Okay, there's young Craig and handsome Tom. This was actually the irony of this is that this was a store that we later, well, I guess I later bought. This was a store that was a game exchange that was in our area that I purchased and actually renamed it to GameAttack. It all kind of ties together now. GameAttack was a brand I later launched at another time. But here you go. Let's continue here with younger version of me. Some would say not nearly as handsome version as me.
148 videos and over 42 million downloads later. We gotta say, thanks GT. You guys kick ass.
Much skinnier version of Craig. By the way, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep stopping this because I have so much to say about here. Think about this. 42 million views in 2007. That was massive. Like we were, and by the way, it wasn't one like a produce a video every day. This was 3 times a week. This was huge for us back in 2007. That's massive. It'd be huge today. Nope.
42 million downloads later.
Yep.
We gotta say, thanks GT. You guys kick ass.
And while we've had some great moments with our VGVs, top 10s, and of course
Video
the Nerd
game
Vids
vaults.
every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, wouldn't you know it, we have this much fun every day at our website.
Always trying to push people back to ScrewAttack.com. And you know what didn't happen? People didn't go to ScrewAttack.com. I think 1 month we had, I mean, in comparison, it was a small percentage. I think one month we had like close to 6 or 7 million page views, which once again was a big deal back then. But we were looking at monster sites like IGN and GameTrailers going like, oh man, what could have been, right? It never did with ScrewAttack.com.
Their 2-year anniversary and redesign coming up, we thought to ourselves, there's really not a whole lot wrong with tooting our own horn, so toot toot, bitches. Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
And I'm Handsome Tom.
For ScrewAttack's top 10 ScrewAttack moments of the past year.
It was good to do these things. They were never highly viewed.
There's a lot of personalities on ScrewAttack that chances are you probably haven't heard of.
Okay, once again, doing our best to put the shine on other people. That was always the goal of these things. Talk about us, but let people know that there's more than just Craig and Tom and the nerd at the time.
Perfect Liz, the ScrewAttack Europe guys, and even our interns. But there's only one who is so polarizing, so tantalizing, that you have to watch him every time he gets at his microphone.
My brother.
Hasn't played a game since
1992.
This game sucks. The guy who hasn't played a game since 1992 just wants to find out what's going on. But this past year at QuakeCon, he had one question on his mind.
After touching my muscles, do you have an erection?
No,
It looks like it. Walking around all these hot gamers today, I've had a little bit of a problem concealing my manhood, so I put this Ninja Turtle's face on my crotch. You ever do that?
I've never put a Ninja Turtle's face on my crotch, no.
You want one? Let's do it. Get up. How does it feel to have a Ninja Turtle's face on your crotch?
One day, Steve's gonna get his ass beat.
Never did. But that was the beauty of Steve, of Brad, just letting him go out and give him a camera and go crazy. Usually it ended up with some sort of gold. He really did his best to make people uncomfortable.
You ever have a Ninja Turtle face in your face?
Why did he have an Who knows?
On our weekly podcast, Side Scrollers, we get
now
the
daily.
question all the time, who would win in a fight?
It's kind of weird and sick, freaks, but one Friday we found out and we pitted every single ScrewAttack feature, put them in the ring together, and had them kick each other's ass.
Okay,
I think the results kind of speak for themselves.
this is not like some super duper crazy idea, but in 2007, 2008, I had never seen anything like this before, where you just use the character creator to make a Royal Rumble of online content creators. I see this all the time now. And I'm not saying we started this because it's a pretty generic idea, but we were the first people that I saw do this. Otherwise, 2007 was a pretty bland year. The fact that we're including the ScrewAttack Royal Rumble as number 9.
As UK West is gone, ScrewAttack Europe has been totally knocked out.
Oh
Handsome
no!
Tom over the ropes.
Oh no! No!
What could happen?
Oh, nothing! Nothing
A
can
nice
happen.
reversal to the handsome one.
By the way,
And here comes our final.
I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
Stuttering
By the way, this
Craig.
was
Sporting the sandals
recorded
just
once. We never
where's
redid
Steve?
it.
That's right.
In
Oh
his
no!
Patented black hat.
Never
Let's
redid
just
it.
make-
It was a one-time
Oh.
recording.
One of the originators.
We
Handsome
pretty
Tom
much
is out. In comes
did
Stuttering
this in
Craig,
real
so we are
time.
Down to 3. Jose El Mexicano.
Double team.
We have a double team. Oh my, how the turns have tied.
You
What,
can
or
tell.
something Like that. Jose El
Definitely
Mexicano is
record
out.
one time, one take.
What?
Stuttering Craig looking to make a quick impact as the last competitor in the ring.
Oh
He got
my-
it.
Now you may be saying to yourself, you cheated. No. That's literally just the total luck of the draw. And even then I was like, the guy who runs it wins the first one. Yes, totally by accident, I guess, whatever. So totally random.
When you mesh that old school cartoon Captain N with
Captain
Saved
N,
by
this
the
is a
Bell,
great show,
you
man.
get Captain S.
Today rocks so hard.
One of the coolest shows on the internet for gamers. In the very first episode, we were introduced to Chad Belmont and an array of characters as well as his arch nemesis, Ness, in this epic stare down.
What's the matter, Ness? Not playing with enough
I love
power?
this scene. Loved it. Music is great.
What do you know of power? One word, Ness. Blast processing.
Number 7.
All right, let me say a quick thing about Captain S. All those guys, incredibly nice. Now, just seeing their social media posts over the last several years, probably not the most interested in working with me anytime soon, but they were all extremely talented. I have nothing but nice things to say about them. Another fun fact about Captain S is I tried to get it only did one season, and that was like the early days of internet content. Tried to make a second season happen. Actually, I think we signed paperwork. We definitely had like a handshake deal, but then like their little production company went kaput, so we never saw Captain S season 2. But man, I loved that concept of it's more or less Captain and the Game Master meets Saved by the Bell, as I said in the video. It was really fun, really hokey, and over the course of like 8 or 10 episodes, I thought it was a great story. It's fun.
There have been a crap ton of bad video game commercials, and I mean really bad. Perfect Liz takes us through them every Saturday and shows us how bad they really are.
Does this guy having a chick touch his DS really give him pleasure?
Yes? You know what? Go on and touch my DS. Oh!
And just if you
That was the clip of the week, which was honestly very bad. And we ended up changing it. No, it was the quote of the week, which we changed to the clip of the week later. But more, we will watch actual episodes of that later on.
2 weeks ago, as RG1s are being treated to one of Nintendo's most disturbing ads ever, the shock treatment had only just begun as we found out something very personal about you, Handsome Tom.
What?
It's kind of like that time I caught Handsome Tom cross-dressing.
Now he'd be lauded as brave and exciting, and he's long past that. He'd be got double D's at this point.
6.
We do our best to hit up all the big gaming events, at least all the ones we care about. It's amazing that events about games don't have any fun.
When Video Games Live made their way through Dallas, we had to show up and see our little buddy.
Ooh, people mad. I'm looking at Tommy Tallarico in 2008. Ooh, did I say he was a little buddy? Yes, because he was a little buddy. Now, by the way, we can get into the Amico thing some other time, but people got really mad about the Amico thing, and that's another story for another time.
Tommy Tallarico. Get out of here, all right? I told you guys to leave earlier. Get out. Getting kicked out of events. The tradition continues.
We did get kicked out of a lot of events.
We've grown a whole heck of a lot in the last year, and with the growth, we've introduced 4 new interns to ScrewAttack. New School Mickey, High School Ben, Jose El Mexicano, and Just Stu.
And while we've learned a lot from them, they've also learned a lot about Tom and I.
Yeah, like don't talk if you can't back it up.
When Jose spouted off that he could out-eat both of us in a pizza eating contest, we knew we had to hold him to it. It was 2v1v1 as Mickey joined the fray also, with a punch to the nads going to the loser.
I was born for this, man. I should become a professional eater. It's over. We're not gonna win.
You're quitting right now?
Yes.
He's quitting right now.
All right, 1, 2.
I feel strongly, maybe not now, but I have for a long time, that the best way to end a competition is just a little love tap to the nads. I mean, I think that's, look, who hasn't done that at some point, to a friend or something, just a little, now this is, nowadays this would be seen as extremely problematic. Doesn't mean it's not funny. He says I missed him, but he was playing it up with the camera.
Number 4.
Yeah.
While the interns made it incredibly easy for us to entertain ourselves, we actually had a challenge of our own.
Yeah, like the worst undercalculation of Wii skills.
Oh, yeah.
Ever. The Mustache Challenge, where we played Wii Sports, and the loser had to grow a mustache of the winner's choosing.
I think you're just pissed because you look like a creepy child molester. It was awesome.
Yeah, I am.
Creepy child molester?
Now, I'll tell you, that's one thing that Tom and I always had was pretty good chemistry as far as playing off each other like that. And we weren't afraid to make fun of ourselves. And I like to think that I'm still not afraid to make fun of myself and take myself too seriously. Fun times. Yeah, it's funny. That was actually, I edited that entire challenge. And you guys have no idea what this was, but that was, I guess I could say that wasn't real in that it was like we actually played it, but the way it was edited told actually a really good story, for the time, of course. And it was done over the course of 3 videos, but we knew what was going to happen.
When we heard that Uwe Boll was auctioning off a role in his upcoming Far Cry movie on eBay, we had to get in on it. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford the thousands of dollars he was asking.
After emailing Uwe and asking really politely, he said, as long as we can get to Canada where they're shooting, we could be in it. We couldn't believe it when our G1s managed to pull together enough money to ship us to Vancouver. It was a crazy experience that we got to share with our community. And whether you like his movies or not, we learned one thing about Uwe Boll. The dude is crazy passionate about what he does. And as crappy as some of his movies may be, you at least got to respect that.
Number 2.
That was actually really fun. And I have had people in the last year ask me about being in the Far Cry movie, which is crazy. Considering I got cut. We got cut. We were just total extras in it, and we got cut. But we had Uwe Boll on the show in the last couple of years on Side Scrollers, and that was actually really fun to see. And I said, he makes dog shit films, but he's passionate about it. And you could tell when he was on our show recently. It was cool to do that. And I would love to, if he does another film anytime soon, maybe we run it back here and make our way to wherever he's shooting. I think that'd be a fun time.
We don't know about you, but we think the whole competitive gaming thing is really, really boring to watch.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of dudes who are really good at one game, all competing and yelling at each other, saying they're the best ever. Who cares? We wanted to put a little bit of fun and a little bit of excitement back into the competitive gaming scene. And thus we made the Iron Man of gaming.
Okay, let me just say this. I said earlier that we were not the first people to do the, we probably weren't the first people to make like a Royal Rumble thing. I know we were the first people to do a wrestling championship belt as a prize. 100%. Nobody was doing that before us. And that was a staple of the Iron Man of gaming, which I would love to bring a variety of this back. Some sort of, best consoles, best genres, whatever. Or all consoles, all genres, all eras. That was the idea of the tournament. But to see the wrestling belt take off. And now part of that is obviously the WWE, but this became almost cliche after a while. So the Iron Man was a really fun tournament. It was just, you had to be the hardcore of hardcore.
A gaming event where you compete on numerous games from all
theme
consoles,
from
all
Killer
genres,
Instinct.
and all eras, with the winner taking home cash and a championship belt. Hell yeah. It went over so well and we had such a good time, we're doing it again this summer. Just bigger, better, and for a whole lot more cash.
Number 1.
By the way, huge mistake doing cash back then. Learned a lot.
The coolest moment of the last year for us wasn't even done by us. It was done by one of our G1s. Birdman Twig took being a G1 to a whole nother level by plastering his allegiance on his body. Forever.
Taking a G1 logo that a resident remixer DJ Access put together, he tattooed it along with the word ScrewAttack on his arm for the entire world to see. According to him, we're right on par with Batman. Man, he really lowered his standards.
Absolutely incredible. And as we continue to grow at ScrewAttack, you can bet on 3 things: an awesome community, video games, and most importantly, fun.
Well, there you go, my friends. There's your ScrewAttack in 2007 or 2007 best moments. That was really fun to go back and watch. Obviously, a lot younger then, but it's interesting to kind of see the little things, the little breadcrumbs that we did back then that still are kind of still there. And honestly, my philosophy is still the same, right? Like even with side scrollers, we're having fun here, right? We have fun every day. And yes, we talk about serious stuff, but the events that we do, they're about fun. And I love it. That was really fun to go back. Speaking of fun, that was fun to go back and look forward to doing several more, though. So thanks so much for being Plus members. Appreciate you guys and your support. And we look forward to making many, many more memories with you guys very, very soon. More reactions of ScrewAttack stuff coming soon. Appreciate you guys.